Cheesecake Factory been getting over, man. Greetings, salutations, good people. My name is Otis James Bush Jr. This is OJB Cookie. Got myself old sweet tooth. And I do have an affinity for a good old cheesecake, you feel me? So we gonna hook up a good old classic cheesecake today. Now, make a small tweak. Instead of graham cracker crust, we're gonna do a cookie crust. We're gonna go cap that mug off with a good old caramel sauce, you know what I mean? Just to bring it on home, bring it on together, you feel me? So what we gonna need? Not a lot of stuff actually. We got some eggs, we got some Biscoff Cookies, we got some vanilla extract, some condensed milk, a little bit of salt, got plenty of Philadelphia cream cheese, got some salted butter, and we got some good old sugar, of course, you feel me? And you know, so not a lot to it, man. We gonna hook it all up and make it do what it do, baby. As always, come on with me. All right, now the first thing we gonna do is hook up this good old caramel sauce. Now I will say, this gave me a little bit of trouble. I can make a whole video alone on just the caramel sauce by itself. But into the pan, we got a cup of granulated sugar. I use raw sugar. I would recommend using processed sugar, just because I think that you know, I ended up having some crystallization because I use raw sugar. And then you're gonna add 1/4 of a cup of water. Make sure you distribute all of it evenly across the bottom of the pan, and you know, even that out. And then we gonna bring this to a slow boil over medium-low heat. You want to take your time with this because you don't want your caramel to burn, because obviously at that point it's no good. So what you're seeing is me slowly ramp up to get this, you know, cracking basically and bubbling as I want it to be. You know, no rush. You definitely don't want to stir it. That'll make it crystallize automatically, even though I did experience a bit of crystallization. But we're gonna fix it and I'm gonna show y'all how. Right now what I'm doing is taking a brush with a little bit of water on the ends, and I'm just brushing down the sides, because along the sides as you cook it, especially if you're cooking it slow, it will crystallize a bit, as you can see. But we took care of that with the brush, and I just kept repeating that process throughout the whole time that I made the caramel, just to make sure, you know. There you go again, get on up in there. And you know, like I said, this is a slow process. You want to let it come up, and what you're looking for is for it to get to a deep amber kind of color. Now another disadvantage to using raw sugar, it already is kind of brown, so it's hard to tell. What I'm doing right now is adding some lime juice. I googled right quick as I saw my caramel was crystallizing. I found out that citric acid, if you add it in, will break up that crystallization. And I gotta tell y'all, worked like a charm. Worked like a charm, man. Good old Google. And you know, as you can see, I still didn't stir anything. I just brought it back to a boil. I whisked, kind of moving around in the pan by moving the pan around. And look how deep we getting with the amber color now. You know, we kind of getting what we need to be. Yeah, exactly what we need to be. All right, what we're doing right now is adding some heavy cream. I'll put the measurements down in the comment section. Make sure you check that out, just in case I leave anything out here. But make sure that you warm your heavy cream up. You don't want to add the cold heavy cream into the mixture, obviously. So I had that over on another burner, just sitting there warming. And as you can see, I've added it in, and we got a little bubbling going on. But don't worry about that. We go just, you know, stir it around while it cooks off some of that excess moisture and thickens up a bit. Now, one thing to think about, you know, as your caramel sauce cools, it's gonna thicken up, you know, a whole lot more, you know. So, you know, don't think that you need to, you know, reduce it down to where it's just super thick. It's actually gonna cool and get a lot more thick, you know what I mean? All right, so we're getting there. We're almost there. Yeah, check it out, check it out. Color coming together. And we go throw about a tablespoon of vanilla extract in here, you know, just to add to the flavor profile. And then a couple tablespoons of butter. I've seen people put more butter, but it makes the caramel sauce taste kind of butterscotchy. And I wanted to, you know, make sure we stuck to the script here. So we're gonna work that on in there, as you can see. Here we go. We're in the game, baby. Move on to this good old cookie crust. And we're gonna throw 5 tablespoons of melted butter and then 1.5 tablespoons of sugar into our mixture here. Very simple. And then we just go move that on around, get it nice and acquainted, you know what I mean? Get it nice and mixed in. There you go, there you go. Just like that, just like that. All right, yeah, we in the game. And of course, I took these cookies, I threw them in a food processor. My bad, I probably should have mentioned that, but I figured I'd skip that part. But threw the cookies in a food processor, and then mix it all together like this. And then what I'm doing right now is I took the bottom of a glass, and that's how I'm even out my cookie crust. You know what I mean? I was trying to use that spatula, but that wasn't working. So I started looking around the kitchen, and I was like, you know what? This is what I need right here in my life. And as you can see, worked like a charm, man. Worked like a charm. Feel me? All right, we go through a cup of granulated raw sugar, along with 3 8-ounce packs of cream cheese, and then we got 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. I'll throw that up in there. What are those teaspoons? Those might have been teaspoons. Don't quote me. I'll put the measurements down in the bottom. And we just mix that on up just like this. Yeah. Get on up in there. So the first thing we'll do is mix those things together. And you just want to get this nice and creamy. Nice creamy consistency, like so, before you start to add your eggs in. Alright, now we're going to add our eggs in one at a time. You know how baking is. Patience. Patience is a virtue, man. And we're gonna mix that in. Now you don't want to mix too much and get any air, just built up in here. So mix it in, go to the next egg. You know what I mean? So got that boy on up in there. And we're gonna mix that on up in there as well. Alright, we got the last egg 3 times. Yeah. Aqua drop. We got it in there. Alright. Just mix this last one on up real good. Like I said, don't mix too much. You don't want to get, air bubbles into your batter. Want this thing nice and creamy, and also cut down on the possibility of any cracks, any unsightly cracks. And I'm just gonna take a spatula and just scoop around the edge and make sure we get this nice and mixed up. Anything that was extra on out. Alright, now we got our crust. Now earlier I took my cookie crust and I baked it in the oven at 350 for 8 minutes just to get it nice and set, and I brought it back out. Now that foil you see on the bottom of the pan ended up being obsolete for this video. I actually cooked this twice. I tried a water bath method, but my crust got wet, so I scrapped that one. As you can see, I'm putting it in the pan without no foil the second go around, and no water bath, and we're gonna get in the game, baby. Look at it. Hey, we ready? No. Okay. Hey, now we're ready. To take a good look at it. It started to crack around the edges, but as it settled back down, as you can see, came out beautiful, baby. Yeah. Now, I apologize, people. I forgot to film when I added the caramel drizzle. Don't fight me. But here we go. We in the game. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Boy, you think we was at the Cheesecake Factory. Smoking them boys. They ain't got nothing for me. Killed them. I know you want to bite. I know you do. Yeah, you can make it at the crib with this handy dandy video. Time to get a bite. Alright, good people. Moment of truth. Time to test it out. See what it do. Right there. It's on point. Fire. I thought cheesecake was hard, but somebody lied. It's literally like stupid quick. The cookie crust, 10 minutes. The cheesecake mix, bringing that all together, 10 minutes. Baking, it was about 35. And a little trial and error. I actually had to make this twice today because the first one got wet because I tried to cook it using water. Anyway, you ain't got to do all of that. I'm gonna show you how to do it. You're gonna be good. I actually don't have no adjustments on this. I actually made all the adjustments when I made the second cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? So, O did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that.